The terrifying secret of Mr. Bright's Christmas lights. Every December, the quiet Boston suburb of Winchester turned into a Christmas wonderland. But one house stood out above the rest. The warm glow of string lights gave the town a cozy charm. Mr. Bright's house. It shone so brightly that it could be seen from miles away. Every line of the house was outlined with shimmering lights, creating a spectacle so mesmerizing that people came from nearby towns just to see it. But the locals knew the house held a sinister secret. Every year, someone from the neighborhood disappeared without a trace. Alex Wilson had just moved to Winchester. A young journalist, he had traded the chaotic buzz of New York City for the calm of suburban life. He had everything he needed to start fresh: a cozy house, a new job at the local newspaper, and a desire to leave his past behind. The neighbors welcomed him warmly, especially Mrs. Jennings, an elderly woman who brought him a pie on his first day. Over coffee, she told him about Mr. Bright's house. "Every year, it lights up like the Rockefeller tree," she said, lowering her voice. "But there's something off about it. Haven't you heard? Someone always disappears around Christmas. And Mr. Bright, well, he's not like us." Alex laughed it off. Superstitions, he thought. But when he learned that Tom Walsh, a neighbor from across the street, had recently gone missing, his journalistic instincts kicked in. Alex started digging. He combed through the archives of the local paper and found a chilling pattern. Every year, just before Christmas, someone in the neighborhood vanished. Homeless people, the elderly, even children. No traces, no clues. Mr. Bright had lived in that house for over 40 years. No one knew where he came from or what he did for a living. He rarely left his property and only spoke to neighbors from behind his fence, if he spoke at all. Alex began to watch the house. At night, Alex noticed something peculiar. The lights on Mr. Bright's house seemed to breathe, glowing brighter and dimmer as if they were alive. The air around the house was unnaturally still, as though even the wind dared not approach. One night, while walking past the house, Alex saw shadows cast by the lights. One of them looked eerily human, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared. This isn't a coincidence, he thought. Alex decided to investigate. Under the cover of darkness, he slipped onto Mr. Bright's property. Peering through a window, he saw a room filled with strange machinery, old generators, tangled wires, and boxes of string lights. In the center stood a large glass structure, glowing faintly. Inside it, something pulsed like a heartbeat. He stepped closer but froze when he heard a voice behind him. "Enjoying the view?" Alex spun around to see Mr. Bright. The old man stood in the snow, unbothered by the cold, his sharp eyes gleaming like those of a predator. Mumbling an apology, Alex hurried away, but his curiosity burned stronger than ever. The next day, Alex visited the library and unearthed an old map of Winchester. It showed that the land where Mr. Bright's house stood had once been the site of an indigenous ritual circle. "A place of power," Alex murmured. Digging deeper, he found a grim history. The family that had owned the house before Mr. Bright had vanished under mysterious circumstances. Determined to uncover the truth, Alex returned to the house late at night. This time, he entered through the basement. The air was heavy with the scent of burning metal. There in the dim light, he saw the glass structure again. Inside, faint, ghostly figures moved, their faces frozen in silent screams. "These are souls," Alex realized. Before he could react, the room was flooded with light. Mr. Bright stood on the stairs, his voice deep and otherworldly. "You shouldn't have come here," he said. Alex acted on instinct. He grabbed a heavy object and smashed the glass structure. The lights flickered wildly as the trapped figures began to dissolve into the air. The house shuddered violently, as if it were alive and in pain. Mr. Bright screamed, his voice splitting into an inhuman wail. Alex barely managed to escape as the house collapsed behind him. When the police arrived, all that remained of the house was a smoldering pile of debris. A year later, Alex was driving through a town in another state. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a house glowing impossibly bright. The lights shimmered like stars, alive with an unnatural energy. The lights had returned, and so had the terror. If you enjoyed this chilling story and want to uncover more eerie tales, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. What do you think happened to the souls trapped in Mr. Bright's house? Could his lights still be out there, waiting for their next victim? Share your theories in the comments below. And remember, sometimes the brightest lights hide the darkest secrets.